Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we are so lucky because Eufy has reached out again with another cool security product that I am excited to review. This is the Eufy Video Smart Lock. Yeah, Eufy just combined 3 into 1 with the smart lock here. So this is a doorbell. So when people get here, they can ring the doorbell. It'll work just like a doorbell. It is a camera, so you can keep an eye on your packages, see who's at the door, anything like that from anywhere in the world, mind you. And lastly, it also has a deadbolt. But not just any deadbolt, this is a smart deadbolt because we don't do dumb in this house no more, right? So this guy has a fingerprint reader, pin pad, and then if all of that fails, there also is still a key option. But let's go ahead and start with the unboxing. All right, this guy will slide out just like most of Eufy's products here. And first thing we see is our lock, the front and rear side of our deadbolt. So the back side here is pretty hefty, sturdy, and this one looks like it comes with a rechargeable battery rather than using individual batteries. And then here we have our doorbell. Wow, that is hefty, all metal. It is an oval shape. That's interesting. So it's not going to sit flush against the door. It's going to have kind of a tapered shape, but it is going to sit solidly against the door. You still have all this surface area. This back here is rubberized. So there is our lock, the doorbell itself. Let's go ahead and see what else comes in the packaging here. This is our battery pack here, rechargeable with a USB-C cable. A plug. Our installation guide, stickers, and things like that. The deadbolt itself, our keys, new strike plate, mounting hardware, and lastly, this little guy. So with my current doorbell, I use the Homebase 1, or maybe it's the Homebase 2. Instead of using that, you can now use this little guy, and this is all you need. It's even got a little expandable memory so that you can store all of your videos from your camera right on that guy. That's pretty cool. Oh, you know what? This goes to our doorbell. And this is everything you get inside of the box. So let's go ahead and start by doing the installation, and then we'll do the setup in the app. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is install our Wi-Fi bridge. So we have this little plug here, and we'll line these guys up and give it a twist. You can see which way it goes there. And these guys can flip up and out, and you just plug it into an outlet. Alright, so in the app, we'll then select the Wi-Fi bridge, tell it where we're installing it. So we'll scan the QR code on the bottom of this guy, and then plug it back in. Alright, so you have to wait till the light turns green solid, then you press and hold the sync button. Then it'll find it. Connect it to our Wi-Fi.
Testing Wi-Fi connection. Connected to Wi-Fi successfully. Device was added successfully.
Now it's asking for us to give it a name, and then we should be good. First thing we're going to do is install this latch. Make sure you mount it right side up. If you have a bigger door with a larger gap, this does just twist out for you. And then in one of our bags it says Deadbolt screws. It has these two little guys. We'll go ahead and install those in here. Alright, so this one's going to install a little bit different than my last ones. The back plate on this is much bigger than all of my other deadbolt locks I've done before, but the operation is going to be fairly similar. We're going to insert the little blade part of this through that there, while also threading all of our wiring underneath, just like that. And then we can take this plate here, feed the wiring through the hole in the center. There we go. Then we'll use the assembly kit for interior installation. Starting with these big long screws, they're going to go in either side of this. And once you've made sure that it is square on all sides here, both sides, you can lock these screws down just like that. Then we can bring in our back plate. It plugs in, gold goes to gold, plug goes to plug, pretty easy. And then we have a screw hole here, and then behind our cover here We've got 2 screw holes that'll line up here and here. We line this guy up as well. There we go. Everything all magically aligned. Boom. One other thing with one this big, to prevent it from getting rocked left to right, they do give you a larger screw here to go in up into this hole here. And lastly, we have our little plug that'll go in the end here, just like that. Then we can take our battery bank here. Again, this is rechargeable with USB-C. Just slide that in like that.
Welcome to Eufy Security. Please download the Eufy Security app to complete setup.
Alright, now that we got our video smart lock installed, we can go ahead and add it in the app here. Just go ahead and hit that plus button in the top corner. Scroll down till we can see our smart lock. Click on that. And this is the S330 video smart lock. We'll tell it where to add it. Hit next. We're using our bridge. So we'll go ahead and push the sync button until I hear a beep. There's our beep. And then we can scan our QR code. Alright, now we can tell it where it is. So now it tells us we need to close and lock the door.
The deadbolt is stuck. Please return to the installation and try again.
So there's a new problem. The latch on my deadbolt is longer than the hole is deep on mine. So I'm gonna have to go figure out how to drill that guy out real quick, and then we'll try and recalibrate that. But next we're gonna go ahead and set a passcode pin and then register our fingerprints.
Fingerprint setup complete.
So this is the view of the camera. It's pretty... Oh, there's the auto lock. So after 30 seconds this guy locks itself, and this is a pretty wide view. I'm about a foot away and it has a 6-foot wide view. That's pretty cool. So there you go. Alright, and so this is now a recording off of the camera itself. You got children screaming and yelling and playing across the street, and here am I I'd say about 4 feet from the camera. If I come back to about here, so I'm now about 10 feet from the camera. This is the view. This is how well you can see. And can you hear me over the neighbors? Alright, this is me about 20 feet away, and yeah, this is what you can see. This is how well you're going to hear. And that is kids across the street playing. Alright, and that is the setup for this smart lock cam. It's got a lot of really nice features and a couple of little here and there hang-ups, but for the most part, installation was very easy. Just like every other Eufy product, it's really easy. This one was probably the most steps, but none of them were actually difficult. I think adding one extra screw to the deadbolt frame to keep it from being able to be twisted and whatnot was a smart move, and also just one extra step, but it wasn't that hard to do. This is definitely something that I think anybody who's considering getting a smart lock for themselves, this is a process that they could do. Let's go ahead and go over my pros and cons list on this one. The first thing I want to bring up, and that like kind of got me excited, is all of my other smart locks I have in my home have batteries, like regular AA batteries, and you have to replace AA batteries, and that kind of sucks. So it's kind of nice to have a rechargeable battery, and the best part about this rechargeable battery is it uses USB-C, and then you don't have to worry about the batteries just randomly dying on you. It will actually track the battery life and let you know when the battery is getting low so that you can go out and then recharge it. The next thing I really like about this one is the fingerprint reader works really well. I did a video, I think a week or two ago, about the Eufy smart lock that's kind of an entry-level, little bit nicer smart lock that has a fingerprint reader, but it's on like a vertical surface, and this one, it puts it on the top but at an angle, and I think that angle kind of helped. If not that, it might just have a better fingerprint reader, because I have a lot less issues with this one than that one. And it might just be myself, because my wife seems to have no issue with either one. So maybe it's me, maybe it's something something else, but I do like the fingerprint reader on this one. It's a more comfortable position to put your finger on when you are coming in and out of the home. And if, you know, perhaps you were away for a long time and the battery does die, you always have the option to go ahead and pull out the doorbell button, and behind that you can use the regular key. But otherwise, you can use the fingerprint reader, you can use the pin pad, or you can even use the app from anywhere in the world. Like, I've been at work and I've had somebody come over dropping something off. I'm like, oh yeah, let's get that inside the door. I opened the door for them, they were able to walk in, drop the package off, and I was able to lock the door behind them. No problems, all able to do it completely remotely, anywhere you have internet service. One other nice feature is that it does have auto locking. So if when you leave you forget to lock the door, or when you get home you forget to lock the door, you can set a timer from 30 seconds to 3 minutes for it to automatically lock again. I think mine's at 1.5 minutes, and that seems to be a pretty good number. Every once in a while it might lock on us while we're carrying groceries into the house, but honestly it's just a matter of turning the lock before you close it and then close it, locking it back up, so you're good to go. I think that's a really great feature, and then you can turn it off if you don't want it as well. And the last pro, my favorite pro, is that this has no monthly fees. Eufy never charges monthly fees for any of their products. You can buy upgrades for having like monitored security, things like that, but they don't charge a monthly fee for you to have your camera system and for you to be able to monitor your camera system on your home. And that includes all of their firmware updates, because they are constantly making updates. I mentioned it on the last video. They actually made an update from when I posted my video to like a couple days later. They had put an update in there so that like you can just push the fingerprint button to lock and unlock the door, where it would only unlock it and you have to press and hold the lock button to lock it. They made that update so that now you can just unlock it or lock it using the fingerprint reader. Super handy. Now for my cons. My first downside is that it doesn't directly interface with my Homebase 2, or it isn't a standalone product. So it does require that it connects to this bridge that they send with it. Granted, they do send the bridge with it, but I wish it would directly interface with the Homebase 2. Number 2 is also related to our bridge unit. While it is nice that we do have that to be able to plug it in another room so that we don't have to have our Homebase be our only doorbell, we can have it somewhere else in the house so that if it's not in a convenient place, you can hear the doorbell using this bridge unit. But to the downside, number 2 is that that bridge unit doesn't come with an SD card. You have to buy a micro SD card. And granted, where I am a video guy, I make these videos, I have SD cards. You have to have a micro SD card to put in there. You have to have the bridge unit and you have to provide your own micro SD card. And even at that, I wish that it would allow you to put whatever size micro SD card, or even up to 512 gig, but no, it's limited to 128 gigs. Granted, I'm sure that's going to store a whole ton of video data, but I'd like to be able to put something bigger. I'd like to be able to expand the memory more than 128 gigs. My last gripe or complaint with it is the camera view. While it's very wide, I very much appreciate that, it doesn't look down very far. While there are doorbell cams that this is equivalent to, my doorbell cam is the dual cam, where it has a camera that points directly down, looking at packages, your doorstep, things like that. That is a feature that I really appreciate, I really like, and so this one doesn't cover that necessarily, so I wish that I could, but you can't. So the view, not being able to see packages if they put it right up against the door or next to the door, you can't see them if it's within like the 2-foot section. So those are my 3-4 little gripes with this, but overall it's a great product because you have 3-in-1. You have a doorbell, you have a security camera, you have smart lock that does fingerprint reading and pin pad and an app control. And if all else fails, you can always use a key to get in like a regular old dumb door. Comparing it to all of the other locks that I put in at my home, the price point on this is definitely more, but it also offers a lot more features. So that is something to take into account when you're shopping, is that this can replace having a doorbell, a camera, and a smart lock and put it all into one device for you and not have to drill any new holes because it just mounts directly onto the door itself. Eufy did send this product for me to review. However, they did not pay me for this video, so all opinions expressed in this video are my own. Because of that, I encourage all of you, if you have questions about this, leave those in the comments below and I can answer those honestly and realistically rather than being someone who's been paid that maybe doesn't even reply to comments. I reply to almost all of my comments. If you want to get this lock for yourself, I'll have it down in the description below. Go ahead and look there to get your links to this guy down below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content, please consider subscribing. Go ahead and check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.